Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to City Skylines, episode 2. I still haven't thought of a good name for this city. I'm very bad with names. We just got it Springfield right now. Christ alive, I'm going to spend most of this episode thinking of a name now, aren't I? We could name it the Zer0polis in memory of my SimCity 4 playthrough about 2 years ago now, where my main city was named the Zer0polis, or the Zer0polis. You know what, just for the time being. There we are. The Zer0polis, or Zer0polis, in memory of my SimCity 4 playthrough. That goes back quite some time. It's gone quite away from there. Went from a laptop to a full computer to a much more beastly computer that I've got right now. I've also grown quite a bit since then. Right, I haven't done much since the last episode. I've just put in these 2 small playgrounds to get the leisure up a bit, so hopefully we should see these. People here start turning a bit better or a bit bluer as they gain access to recreation. Okay, so we've got a fire station, we haven't got a police station, and we haven't got any healthcare. And people are starting to fall sick. So, this fits perfectly in there, so you're going to go here. And the police station can go next to it. Some nice access across both the industrial estate and to the other side of the city here. Would it look a bit neater if I sort of brought that road down over there? I wouldn't like having those junctions so close to each other though. I'll stick it like that for the time being. Now I've got a huge forested area here which is perfect for forestry and specialisation, and plus it's right on the highway, so I can just sort of have a big road going like that and a sort of branch off from here. We'll have pretty much a whole fat load of cash coming in from all the timber. Plus it can be supplied to the industrial estate here. So speaking of which, we've got timber right there, exporting forestry products. So what are we going to do next? Well, first off, this is the police station in a typical British city. It'll be the Rozzers, or the cop shop. But for the time being, they'll be the Rozzers. Go again, Rozzers. Already responding to a call, that's good prompt service. Where are the police cars? I guess we haven't had any calls yet. Don't worry, the Rozzers will be out soon. I am the law from Raymond Thompson. Whoa, you're not even in the city yet. You're all the way over there. You feel safer already? Christ. Unfortunately, we're running out of power, and yet we can't afford another turbine. Come on, people, pay me money, and then you'll get your wind turbines. There. It's just barely enough. Jeez. Another problem with growing the city so quickly. Gonna be spending most of the money on... See, look. Earlier they were facing sort of up north, or upwards, and now they've turned around so they're facing the city. If I look away for a period of time... No, they know I've caught on to them. But you wait just a minute. Right, we've got a bit more money and, well, we're still gonna need more freaking power. See, look! There! They're facing over there now, the sneaky bastards. I'm guessing they're taking all the wind now as well because it's gone down to 7 megawatts. 8 over here, but then they'll get in the way of the future forestry area, so I'm just gonna have to take slightly less power. See, look at all that sludge we're pumping out. People, what are you eating to pump out that kind of sludge and feces and that? Ugh. Ugh. Right. Education, we've got plenty of students in this school, and people are graduating. We're getting educated people now. So soon the commercial districts will start upgrading once they get more educated workers. For the time being, traffic seems to be flowing fairly freely. Hang on a minute. Traffic lights. Oh, maybe it's due to the angle or such, but that's gone now, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm on a quest to make sure that there are no traffic lights at all in the city, because they just serve to slow things down. They're turned again. Yes. Trying to trip me out. I've got more office and industrial demand, so maybe we could get a forestry area going. It's going to be quite pricey though, building a road. I'm thinking there to there, or we could just stretch it from there all the way across to here, and then have off-ramps leading both into the industrial estate here and onto the other highway. A pricey venture. I'm probably going to have to take a loan out for it, and not count considering the fact that I'm going to need a lot more power and water in order to have this forestry area going. So I'm probably going to lay off it for a while. This is going to put in more freaking traffic lights. Oh no, we want freeform. It isn't going to be sort of a smooth curve like this one, but so if we do it just a very light curve, it's sort of, I don't want it too close to the motorway because I'm probably going to be putting in off ramps in the future once this place starts expanding. Yeah, I think that looks okay. See, look, that's just a simple two-way road, and it's taken about 1,000, so I'd never be able to afford a sort of a large 6-lane road going across here, because that's what I want. I want most of my sectors of the city to have one big road going right through the middle with no speed limit, and then junctions branching off with the main sort of buildings and such in there, like the forestry area. Big long curved road, and then smaller roads where all the buildings and the forestry lumber mills are going to be going. That seems to be working out so far for this section of the city. Whether it will continue to work in the future remains to be seen, but if all else, I think it looks okay. Rather nice. Of course, everyone's got their own taste. Some people can't abide anything but the grid system, and that used to be me. But now, because with my other cities, once I had the money to do so, I generally started building suburbs with just lots of curved roads, such as like the places that where in the town I live, little suburbs. And I think when done right, they look rather nice. Of course, we're going to need junctions. Yeah, we've got unique buildings as well. Too many junctions here? Well, I don't think this will be too widely used, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Right, and of course, come on people, you're going to need to keep on paying me money, because we're going to need to get water and power over here. Fun. Not really. Okay, let's keep on going. Just need a little bit more. Come on! I'm not going to put houses right on the end here. Maybe here, but not here. Because once things start growing up in this area, we're going to need off-ramps so they can access both sides of the highways. And of course, we're going to need a bit of extra... I'll save it for one wind turbine and then start zoning. because I know that once all the houses and such start sprouting up, then requirements of power are going to go through the roof. And of course, I'm going to need to see about maybe expanding the industrial sector somewhere. Either way, I've already got recycling centres. They just cost a lot of money. This is going to fill up eventually. Plus, of course, they're going to take garbage trucks sort of out of garbage collection duty in order to move the trash from the landfill to the recycling centres. So far it's doing an admirable job. No one's complaining about trash build-up. We've got commercial places that don't have enough educated workers. So far we only have a primary, or now I'm just going to rename this to be a primary school, because that's what we have in the UK, not freaking elementary schools. Right, we've saved up money. We can get another couple of turbines. And now we're going to start zoning. I think on our next milestone... Yeah, we get advanced wind turbines. Also going to need to... And we'll also get highways. But we can have we can start our public transportation with buses. But we also need to worry about death care with cemeteries and the like. So, as per usual, we shall have ourselves a little commercial line. We'll have it a bit more central this time. So people on both sides can access it, and maybe say a little bit more here. There's little shops in this little zone, and then the rest can be residential. I can also probably demolish these power lines soon. In fact, let's see what's power like. Hopefully they should bleed through, but I'm actually going to rebuild these just so they're less intrusive. So instead, they're like that. And hopefully power will bleed through over here. It was in the way of zoning a little bit. And then... What the... What was this rezone as commercial? Whoops. No! Damn it. It's a bit awkward using the paint tool like that though. So around here we're okay for residential, and then around about this point we're going to stop. We're not going to put houses on that side of the road. Oh, for God's sake. No commercial zones there, only on those designated spots. Because putting in too much commercial at once, they're just not going to be enough workers in the city. Because when the people start out uneducated, they're only going to be able to work in industrial zones. And here. Down here. I'm not sure if we'll continue it on past this point. We're going to put houses in there. We can have a few there. Then along here. Because not to mention, they'll no doubt start complaining heavily about noise pollution once that highway gets busy. And it hopefully will get busy once we start growing. But for the meantime, we've got full water coverage. Yes. We've got extra power. We've got services. We've got school. We might get a high school soon. Hang on. I just remember that's going to put in more traffic lights. None of those, please. They disgust me. I wonder what it would be like if I suddenly removed the speed restrictions on every single road in a huge city. It'd be complete chaos. And now I'm going to remove them here as well. Just so that, for example, trucks coming through here can quickly get onto the motorway. Although they'll no doubt see this road as a shortcut and take that instead. Which is a bit annoying, but that's what you get with traffic AI. It's pretty much impossible to do it right unless you got a huge team of geniuses working on the algorithms and the AI constantly. Thanks to the power of the demand adjustment mod, we've got tons of people moving in and we're now a boomtown. So it means we can now finally make advanced wind turbines. We've got the money now to put in a high school, which I'm going to put in a nice central location. I know you've just built those houses, I'm sorry, but they're gone. Since we don't have any traffic problems right now, not a huge amount of it on the road, so I'm going to lay off the bus depot for a while. Because we're going to need a cemetery. It's pretty damn sizable as well. I could kind of put it here, put it right next to the landfill. If we run out of graves to use, just throw them over the wall into the landfill. Yeah, no, don't disrespect the dead. Just put it here for the time being. Once we get crematoriums, I'm going to focus exclusively on those. They're a lot smaller, and the bodies don't just sort of pile up. And that should be about it. How's our water situation? We're doing okay with that. Power's okay. It did bleed over, thankfully, so... Right, good on that front. Oh, well, deathcare, that's it. Healthcare, good. Healthcare is just fine, thankfully. And now that we've got a high school, people are going to start getting educated. We've got a lot of high school students, thankfully. So buildings should soon start being leveled up. And I'm actually going to put in some parks and plazas to help with that. Unfortunately, buildings are starting to be abandoned. That ain't good. Get some leisure in. Or leisure. Make the people happy. Do I want to put one there? I'll put one there. I can always move it if I'm ever going to build an off-ramp. And it will have a park next to the cemetery. Play. Right. Now once people start getting educated, the buildings will start leveling up. Glorious. Oh dear. Fortunately, the influx of people moving in does cause some traffic jams, but that should clear away enough once people settle into their homes. Because believe me, that's going to happen in much bigger and worse quantities once we start zoning high density residential with hundreds of people moving in all at once. But we're already getting level ups for the commercial districts, that's very good. We're going to make use of all these educated workers. I think they are actually using that main road to get onto the highway, are they? I think someone did. Yeah, that guy did, in the green truck. That's good. How's our power situation? We're starting to run low, so 19 out of 20 megawatts. That's pretty damn good, to be honest, given how it's just a lake. Twice the price, but more than twice the power. Works for me. But we're going to need more water and sewage at this rate. Already level 2, we're going to need more educated workers, but thankfully we have got education on the go. Our primary school is nearly reaching capacity, and the high school is over capacity, but as bad as it seems, we're going to need some uneducated people to keep the factories going. And speaking of which, we have got high industrial demand. So I think maybe it is time to start work on our little forestry area. Except it's not going to be a little forestry area, it's going to be a massive forestry area. So, we're going to get a sizable 6-lane road coming off the motorway around about here-ish. And then joining back up to the motorway. And I'm going to make absolutely sure there are no traffic lights at all. Good. They're just essentially giant off-ramps. And then going to remove the speed limits so that trucks can essentially just zoom through here while making deliveries. And that did take up quite a bit of cash, but thankfully we've still got plenty left to get the roads going. And then just standard two-way roads. Across here. I think those are going to be traffic lights. We're going to need to remove those. Say I did it like this. Hold on. And then sort of branch off like that. I was initially going to do it like that and that and that. Sort of curve, curve, curve. I think that leads to too many junctions on this main road, which I don't want. This might look a little bit odd depending on how you see it, but hopefully it'll work. This bit here, it's straight, not curved. It looks odd, but hopefully once all the buildings get done, it won't look that bad. So we've got roads onto this motorway, but we also want pathways. Why is there zoning there? It must be because I demolished a building to make that cemetery or graveyard. Actually, I can make it look a bit neater by joining these roads onto here. That's how it looks a little bit better. Not sure if the junctions might cause problems when it comes to large amounts of trucks, but we can make adjustments. I can take that. Yeah, we need a lot of educated workers, but we've got a very high industrial demand. First off, gonna make sure that they can reach the highway. So if we make an off-ramp here, we can then split that into two, going onto this motorway here and into this industrial estate, so people don't have to go sort of, or trucks don't have to go that way. So, unfortunately, the pump might get in the way. There we are. Make sure there are no traffic lights. No traffic lights at all, please. None whatsoever. And then we can move... Actually, I can upgrade these into off-ramps now. Oh dear, I must have destroyed some factories doing that. Sorry. I'll rezone. And combine these two. Into that. So now I can essentially go right back onto that, unless, could I put it back onto the bridge? But that just creates sort of another turning on point. So with these, they're essentially combined into one. I'm not sure if that would cause blockages once there's a lot of traffic, but if so, we can hopefully move it somewhere else. And with this one, we're gonna need to make another junction for this though. I'm going to stretch it a bit. If I make it underground, shouldn't be too bad. Oh, bollocks, out of money. Yep, should have kept an eye on that. Tunnels are very, 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 very expensive. And you know what, just so this doesn't get slowed down too much, I'm going to take a small loan. There we are, so they can now get off that straight onto that motorway. And well, it isn't the best idea having a turning on point right before a turning off point, in case people want to turn off. See, this wouldn't be safe at all in real life, because once you come out of there, you have no idea whether someone's coming at you from the left lane. You could essentially just barge into each other, but thankfully this is a video game and there are no traffic accidents here, so we don't really have to concern ourselves with safety, because this wouldn't be good at all either. We don't have to constrain ourselves with the real world rules. We can do what we want. Essentially combine that junction together. Make sure there are no traffic lights, so people on this stretch can turn off and on both motorways, though getting from this motorway onto there. I'm probably going to need to sort of make another off-ramp. This is going to get quite convoluted, but from here-ish. Maybe from back along the bridge. Can you go underground from this bridge? I don't know. It's a bit of a dilemma, and I will save it for the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this part of City Skylines. I think the city is growing rather well, and I hope that I will see you in the next part.